Okay.
Ooh.
Hmm?
I said, ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, excuse me.
You ready to get going?
As ready as I'll ever be.
We gotta start doing just a little bit of a space between clap and the discount bourbon. Just like a little bit of space.
A little bit.
Something kind of like a
Discount Bourbon
Review! All right, guys, we're back this week with Bob 100, very old Barton's 100 proof. What are your first impressions, Dill?
Well, my first impressions of very old Barton's is not the 100 proof. It was the 86 proof. And I'm a very big fan. I have my own bottle. This is Josh's personal bottle. And so I at least know that I like the very old Barton's. I've got high expectations of the 100 proof. It's been something that we've been looking for a little bit now. We haven't really been able to get our hands on it here too easily locally.
I know that they do an 80 proof, they do this 86 proof, and they do the 100 proof. We can clearly find the 86 with some availability having Big Boy over there. And you'll have to check the review on that, but he's definitely got a place on the bar. So I'm expecting some great things out of this Bob 100 coming into it.
I think he's got a very nice buttery smell.
Yeah, he's kind of got a banana right there at the beginning. He's distilled by Bardstown Distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky, and bottled by Bardstown Distilling Company, but that's over in Frankfurt. So we'll generally like to see distilled, produced, aged, bottled all in one place. Taking it just down the road 20, 30 miles to bottle it, I'm not necessarily so offended by. But they call it crafted. They say it's a craft bourbon.
Ooh, he is a very, very sweet friend.
Yeah, it's kind of like cake. I'm kind of getting yellow cake.
Especially on the palate, a lot more in the nose. I get a lot more butter. I do get sweetness on the nose, but a lot more butter on the nose. And then just right there up front on that palate, he is strong with that sweet.
He's strong with the sweet. It's definitely the corny kind of sweetness that you can tell he's a little bit young from. But he goes down real smooth.
He absolutely
kind of
does.
blooms into a light expression. Not very spicy. Not a lot of leather. Not a lot of tannin or rye here. It's definitely something in a wheated territory.
I would absolutely agree with that. There's
a little banana for me too.
I can find the banana in there. I think I can agree with that one.
Real thick.
He is thick.
He's thick.
I mean, from 100 proof, I do kind of expect that a little bit.
You're starting to improve it over the 86 over there for sure.
Oh yeah. He likes to hang around a little bit there on the palate.
But I'm really enjoying it. I think for the nose, I think that it's got a little bit of a complexity to it, especially from the very old Barton's lineup here. It's fantastic. I'm going to have to give it an 8. I don't think that it's got that X factor that keeps you coming back wanting to sniff it, but man, he's pleasant. He's got a good smell to him.
I'm going to say a 7 on the nose. I mean, it's not very far off that. I do like his nose. He is above average for me on the nose. But I agree with that. There's nothing really too much that's even.
We'll see. Now I'm kind of cinnamon, banana.
I'm not getting too much change on the nose over time.
I guess things blooming and evolving for me.
You got some things
But I
blooming
think
and
that's
evolving.
just where the higher point comes into play.
Well, I'm gonna stick for 7 for now, but maybe in 2.5 minutes it might change. Where are you palate wise though? How are you feeling there?
I mean, starting off the review session here, you guys got to catch the live streams if you want to see us review all these different bottles. You'll always see us have some bottles on the sides. Generally, we're reviewing them that week. But we're starting off at 100 proof today. I'm not shocked by his heat. You know what I mean? I think that he's got some incredible flavor. I think that he's got some hidden notes down there that I'd really like to mess around with. So I'm going to open him up here with a little bit of Sprite and see if he'll take a mix for me.
Oh, he absolutely does. Which I would very much expect. The very old Barton's 86 is
It's a constant mixer.
It's the mixer.
Yeah, the mixer around the house.
Yeah. And so yeah, no, that's very good. He brings out a lot more. He just brings a little bit more of a punch to the Sprite. You know what I mean? The same. It's the same flavors that I'm getting here, but they're just a little bit stronger for me, and I really like that.
I think that's
really
exactly
no heat coming off of it in the mixer either. So I really like that. That's an absolute.
It's like they took that very old Barton's and they dialed it up a notch, and now you got very old Barton's 100.
Yeah,
it seems as simple and silly.
Wonderful. I like that a lot. It's palate. I'm gonna keep it a solid 7.
Yeah, I mean, it's above average. It's great. It's good mix. It's good neat. 7. Price is definitely creeping up there for me. It's a 10. It's a $20 bottle. We got some incredible flavors. You can sip it straight. You can mix it up a little bit. I don't think you'd be feeling bad about either.
I don't think you'd be feeling bad about either, but for me personally, he's just going to be a mixer for me. Almost straight through and through, just the way it'll be for me. But overall, what was the price on it again?
I think I paid $20.
$20, that's not bad. I mean, price, that's an 8, easy.
Yeah, I mean, that's solidly in our discount bourbon budget. That's something that you could be picking up with a week. And if you're not polishing off 15 drinks in that week, you can definitely have them sitting around on your bar for a little while. And I think I'd like to restock it if I get the chance.
Oh, yeah.
If I could get a big boy of the 100 proof, forget about it.
That'd be great. I'd love a big boy of the 100 proof. That'd be great.
Dude, I actually love the big boys. Like, the big boy Larceny is real cool. The pot still, specifically, that Willet pot still. That's a great big boy to have.
I really like the
Weller big boy.
But the Weller big boys, I like him. He's
a little
sturdy.
tank just to kind of slap up against.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But overall,
7.5.
7.5. A little above average, but nothing too special.
Yeah.
I think I'm in that territory. I think he's definitely an 8. A little bit above average. If you see him, scoop him. Try him out once or twice. See if it's for your palate. But other than that, drink responsibly.
Please drink responsibly.
Yeah, that one's only 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, we did just jump into it without pulling up any information about.
No age statement or anything like that. We didn't look. Yeah, we gotta start solidifying a little bit of the flow. Very old Barton. Did we say Bardston the whole time?
We did say Bardston the whole time.
Very old Barton. Very old Bardston.
Barton. What we gotta do every single time we say it, just a little text
Barton.
pop up Barton.
Barton.
And then we don't do it again for the 86 proof. Owned by Sazerac.
proof today. I'm not shocked by his heat. You know what I mean? I think that he's got some incredible flavor. I think that he's got some hidden notes down there that I'd really like to mess around with. So I'm going to open him up here with a little bit of Sprite and see if he'll take a mixed stab for me.
Ooh. Oh, he absolutely does. Which I would very much expect. The very old Barton's 86 is
It's
the
a constant mixer.
It's the mixer.
Huh? Yeah.
Decent work. Good.
Okay.
Let's get right into the news.
Are you ready, kid?
They're a very corn heavy mash bill.
Yeah, you can tell it with the butteriness.
Yeah.
All right.
Would you like to take a stab in the dark for a bourbon being at least 51%? At least 51%. And this one being
80.
close, 75.
Yeah.
Which one? Do you just want to go to the 86 or do you want to do something
Yeah,
different?
let's do 86. I mean, we're hot on it. And
Where are those paper towels on from? Yep.
well, the whole fucking thing is being wonky.
Well, that's not good. Ooh.
Okay. There we go.
What's it? Getting some for the top?
Yeah, I was just asking if you knew where they were.
Yeah.
Lit.
I got my high heels on. Boom. Recording. Recording. I'll just hit the bait.
Oh. Sorry, stream.
Ooh, used napkin. Thank
Use
you, buddy.
napkin.
Wow, I feel so special. Oh, used napkin.
Pulls another out of your pocket.
It's the clean one I just rubbed off.
Okay.
Okay.
If it's in the pocket, does it classify as clean anyway?
When are you a philosopher? Discount Bourbon Review!
That's a good time.
I thought it was too.
I
I
like
thought it did
that.
pretty well.
Yeah. Today we're here with the very old Barton's 86
86.
proof.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm a very big fan of them. I've killed my big boy almost entirely in the 2 weeks I've had my hands on him, I
That's
think.
right. He is an easy one to have on your bar
Oh, yeah.
and be able to just pour from. We have a little bit of experience with the Bob 100. I designated him as both neat and the mixer. So for me, I think that Bob is pretty close too. But we're getting ahead of ourselves on the review here. Dylan, what do you know about the area where this is produced?
So we know that it is produced in is it Bardstown?
I believe so.
Bardstown, Kentucky. I think it's just taken up the road a little bit bottled, but when I found out looking up into it that it's owned by Sazerac.
What isn't these days?
That's fair, but I mean, that's good to know. I trust Sazerac products for the most part. I haven't had one that I wasn't that big of a fan of.
Yeah, I mean, overall, their products are going to be pretty steady. The Buffalo Trace lineup is something that a lot of people pay attention to.
Oh, yeah.
This is not in that family, I don't believe.
I don't think so,
No.
but I think it is still under the Sazerac family
Yeah.
name.
We paid $20 for the big old bottle here. Trying to get that price label off there for you guys.
Yep.
But we paid $20.
The $20 for a 1.75 is a very, very good
Come on,
price.
that's easy, dude.
Yeah.
That's easy money. He's got a good corny nose.
He
a lot of
does.
butter on that.
He does, and we found out that it is at least a 75%
Yeah.
corn on this
Pretty
guy.
corn forward.
Yeah, so you can get a lot of those butter corn notes coming off of him.
almost leads me to like yellow cake territory.
I get a little bit more oak off of him than I did like the 100.
Yeah, I think so too.
No, that's very. I think
Oh yeah,
I think
that's
I like the nose a little bit more.
that note's a little bit stronger
86
there.
compared to over here.
You can definitely taste the corn quite a bit more, and the flavors are considerably more muted. I lost some of those banana smells. I lost some of those richer, fruit caramels in this 86 here,
No, you do.
and it follows through.
I would say that it's still on the sweeter side. It absolutely is, but you lose some of those kind of interesting complexities out of it. And this is kind of why I'm glad I did it back to back. And of course, if you want to see it back to back, you can always check out the live stream. It's just been going on. But
Twitch.tv/discount bourbon reviews. But it really is just a watered down version of that 100 proof. I mean, there's nothing else to say. And even then, the 100 proof's probably watered down cask strength.
it makes me feel bad about what I said, just the 100 proof just being a mixer. Because I've lost out on some notes here. Neat on the 86 to the 100 that I really did like in the 100.
Yeah, I almost kind of wish we did it in the inverse.
Yeah.
I think you could have appreciated it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to apologize to very old Barton.
I do.
Personally.
To
if you know
100
him,
proof specifically, I apologize.
If you know him, tell him we'll be down about the flagpole at 3 p.m. and we'll apologize.
That sounds like you're trying to fist fight him after school.
Yeah, tell him real angry. Yeah, he wants to apologize.
Oh yeah, no, he's very good. I love that's. I get a lot of corn and butter off of him, and on the 86, it's really just about all I'm getting off of him.
It's corny.
It
It's
is
buttery,
corny.
and it's gonna be great as a mixer.
Yeah.
But I accidentally skipped over here.
Ooh, got too excited.
Party foul.
I did the same thing on the 100 proof, but I just kept it moving. I didn't
You
say
just kept
nothing
it
about
moving.
I didn't say
You
nothing
just
about
poured some Sprite in an
it.
empty cup.
There was a little bit in
There was
there.
a little bit in there.
Little bit in there.
You're deceiving the audience.
I mean, it happened.
It's that backstage magic. You know what I mean? We generally do a
Ooh.
3-to-1 mix with our Sprite.
That's really good. I can like the bite that he
Ooh,
offered.
it opens up some of that cinnamon and anise
It
that was
does.
locked away in that 100 proof. Yeah.
I would say the 100 proof almost. You knew he was there because you could taste the flavors of the 100 proof, but he kind of hit all of that bite. While this 86 proof, it still kept that bite for me, and I really like that.
As a mixer, they shared pretty much similar flavor characteristics for me. So I'm really surprised to see that this brought more to the table in a mixed state
Yeah.
than the Very Old Barton's 100 did. I would absolutely sip the 100 neat, and I would now designate this as probably just a primary mixer if you have both bottles. If you have just this one, feel free to sip on it. It's a great sipper. It's a great something to get you warmed up for the evening. But I think if I've ever given it a straight designation, if you know me, I think I gotta pull it back, and I think it's probably just a mixer now.
I'm sticking strong with my 86 being just a solid mixer, and I want to go back and take what I said back away from the 100 proof. I think that he's a solid, a standalone sipper.
So I think his nose for me, I'm gonna give him just a 5. I think he's just a perfectly average nose. There's nothing too crazy in there. I wasn't needing to sniff it all day, but it didn't smell repulsive either. So, congrats. And taste, fair. Taste was fair, but it's a little bit better mixed up. It's something to let people know about, but nothing to write home about. So I think that's a 6. And price, I mean, this is $19 for
1.75 liters.
That's a 10. You can't beat a price like that.
Can't beat that price. That is a very good price.
So my overall is probably just a 6.
That's interesting. Flavor, I'd give it a 6.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I mean, kind of like what we expected and to be expected from the products. It's what I expected from the 100 proof, just a little bit of a step down. So I think a 6 a solid place for it because he's good, and I'd say he's a little bit above average, but he's nothing crazy. And I liked what you said. Something to Something to tell everybody about, but not write home about.
Yeah, I mean, you let people know, like, hey, try Very Old Barton. You're trying to get some people into some things. It's going to be a real quick and easy nip to say, like, are you liking these flavors? Are these flavors repulsive to you?
Yeah.
Like, how are you feeling about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I liked that a lot, but I'm gonna keep it at a 6. Nose and palate, realistically. I mean, it's just across the board a step down, and price brings it up from that. I think we gave this one an 8, and that one's very easily a 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I think overall, he's gonna be about a 7 for me.
A 6 and a
I
7.
mean, for that price, it's hard to beat. You know what I mean?
A 6 and a 7. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Are you Barton himself? Are you old Barton himself? And do you want to fist fight me down by the flagpole? Please let us know in the comments. But other than that, drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly. 8 minutes 29 seconds.
Ooh.
A little bit more time out of it. No age statement or nothing like that.
Someone commented, said, can't hear us.
Can't hear you, boys.
Yeah.
Well, I turned up the sensitivity a little bit. And then I can see if I can adjust it.
What about now?
Cool.
I mean, it seems to be going up to a reasonable level on OBS there, at least. Just me talking here. Here, hold on. I can test this. I just don't know if it's bad audio or... Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. Where it sits.
So you think it's XX corrupt?
Probably, because I pulled it up on my phone and it sounded fine.
I like how I have to join Twitch to like actually participate in this chat. Like, why? What?
Have an alt account that you're in chat with.
Yeah. Oh, should we be recording? Oh no, they automatically record. You go to that mod section, right?
Yup.
Yuppers. File export as WAV for Bob 86. Export WAV. 86. $186 proof. Damn, dude.
Damn.
Damn.
I would love to try 186 proof.
I think that's just like 200 proof is max. Alrighty. Ugh. 42%. Oh, that admin finally approved my ISO picture for chapter 7.
I don't know what that means.
It's chapter 7. Little book.
I know that, yes.
I'm in search of post.
Oh.
Yeah. You looking at the Bernheim stuff?
I am looking at the Bernheim.
7 years.
Yep. This isn't even a bourbon.
It uses soft winter wheat as its main grain.
Yep.
It's a wheat whiskey.
It is.
You know, that front for the people. Just a little bit. Oh, kiss the baby.
We're looking at 7 years, 90 proof, 51% wheat. This is a wheated whiskey. Discount Bourbon Review!
All right, guys, we got an exciting one this week. A little branch away from the namesake, we are going to be reviewing a wheat whiskey. Bernheim Original Kentucky Straight Wheat Whiskey. So instead of some of the things we've been reviewing on this channel, which are primarily corn products, this is going to have wheat as the primary ingredient. I'm really looking forward to it. I really like the Weller Special Reserve. It is my absolute favorite whiskey, and it's a wheated whiskey. So if you like Weller, you're going to love this Bernheim. Or at least that's what we're hoping, right?
At least that is what we are hoping. I haven't personally tried it yet, so I've got nothing but high expectations. I've heard good things about it online. I've heard Josh say good things about it. Of course, we know that I am a weeded guy as well. I like my things a little bit more weeded than not.
Of course, I just broke into it recently. Just enough to break the neck. We love doing fresh cracks for you guys, but at the same time, sometimes it's good to let them breathe a little bit.
You know, he's
got a very subtle nose.
He has a
It's
very,
sweet.
very subtle nose.
But if you guys watch the live streams, we just finished up VOB 86 here, which is a very high corn percentage. So to switch from this 75% corn to this 51% wheat, we're experiencing quite some change.
No, it's a big change.
And for being grain, water, thyme, I mean, it's crazy.
I get a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of allspice, but I really have to go digging down deep for it. I mean, he's very much hiding from you.
Yeah, he's really unoffensive in any way. He's got a very subtle nose with some very young caramels. Like you just let the sugar melt in a pan, and it's that aroma that's filling your house. There's a little bit of grain, but it's not like your dad's brewing a beer in the garage. You know what I mean? It's just smells like a bread basket. Just kind of smells like the loaf of bread hanging out on the counter.
But if you're standing 3 rooms away.
Yeah, it's like the Wonder Bread factory, but next door.
I'm trying really hard to smell that bread. I can smell it, but I'm trying very hard to smell it.
You're in line at the DMV right next to a bakery, and you're like trying to do all you want to do is smell that bread. You know, Dylan, I've ever told you, I'm part of the LGBT community, the Let's Get This Bread community.
I think that is somewhat of an offensive joke. Ooh. His flavor is very good. He's very subtle, though, just across the board.
Yeah, he is. I mean, it just goes down quick and easy. You don't even really recognize that he's there in your mouth. And he just blooms in this wonderful expression of sweet, young caramel. He smells kind of just like he tastes.
I do get a little bit of caramel on that palate. I wasn't able to find them in the nose.
Some vanillas, for sure. Maybe even when I'm really, really looking down, there's just a little bit of that, like, orange zest, kind of citrusy, just little bits heading out.
See, I'm getting just a little tiny bit of that allspice when I'm getting really down deep in there.
Yeah, kind of cinnamony.
A little bit.
Baking spice, for sure.
Almost.
To take it to a vaguer word.
It's
fire.
Fire's a word, but I don't know if I would use it.
You don't think that it's fire? You don't think it's good?
It's a good smell. It is a very good smell, and it's a good palate. But you really have to go searching to find anything of note. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing up front about him where he's like, hey, vanilla, hey, oak.
And I mean, he's 7 years old, so he's had some time to be hanging out. They say small batch on here, but they don't give you an exact cue as to how many blend up into a small batch.
Yeah.
You'd hope that it'd be like 20, 30 barrels, but at the same time, I mean, it could be hundreds, could be thousands.
It's just kind of a vague term.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, and I'm not going to lie. Mixed up, he kind of gives me a little bit of a sour taste on that Sprite that I'm not a very big fan of.
I agree. He does kind of introduce some astringent quality when you mix him up like that.
Yeah.
Just coming off the VOB, it really brought the VOB down. It made the VOB sweeter.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think it made the Sprite a little stiffer.
Yeah.
So, surprisingly enough, for being only $20, I think I'm going to give him a straight designation. And that's kind of shocking to me.
It's a little weird, because typically we'll give a straight designation to something
a little bit higher,
a little bit higher pedigree, like that Antique 107. We're
Things
not
like
going to
that.
mix him, but I don't he's getting a straight designation just because I don't want to mix him with something. A lot of the
Yeah,
stuff I'm very
not that I don't think you should. It's that I don't really want to.
yeah,
right now.
I like a lot of the stuff that we've tried. I'm very interested in going home and trying with my sweet tea.
Yeah.
'Cause we know we try the Sprite here, but personally at home, I like my whiskey with my sweet tea.
We like to keep a constant for you guys.
Yeah.
You know? And we decided on Sprite because
Yep.
if it's good enough for Elmer T. Lee, well, by God, it's good enough for
Good
me.
enough for me. That's the
Good
way it
enough for me.
goes. But I don't want to take any of him home and go try him with my sweet tea.
Wow.
I might maybe a little bit of ice, but
Wow. Not
That's
even
really it.
not even take a little shot to go in a little plastic baggie like a little goldfish.
if I did that, it would still just go in a Glencairn like this. Maybe just a little ice cube, and that's it.
Let me know in the comments if you think putting a shot in a Ziploc bag and sealing it up would break sealed container laws. I don't think it would. I think that's terrible advice. Don't follow it. But let me know if you think it might.
I think if it's in the trunk,
Well, because it's sealed, right? You can is that open container?
that doesn't count as like.
Is that open
sealed,
container?
sealed.
But it
Do we
is.
have anything sealed here?
I
Like
mean,
the Weller up
that's
here?
what I'm saying.
We
That's
sealed.
arguing that's a factory seal. But like the other day, we stopped and got some dinner, and we took a wine to go. They put it in a little bag, and they had a little adhesive strip.
Where
so
was
once you, that's irrelevant.
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 Okay, but to bring it back, how did you feel about the nose on him? What would you give him? Because I'm curious.
I don't think he had a particularly great nose. I think it was just an average nose. It was not offensive. It wasn't bad. I didn't take any negative points into it. So, I mean, we're starting at a 5 here. We're always starting at just an average whiskey. But I don't think there's really anything that makes me want to tick up either. Nothing makes me want to tick down. Nothing makes me want to tick up. So I think he's just going to stay there at a 5. Just an average smell. Something that you like to sniff, but
I don't think there's
you
anything
don't
wrong
love
with
to sniff.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that in any way. I'm gonna take it down a peg, because typically there's a lot of whiskeys out there that you have to find things in. That's sometimes a very exciting thing for me. But usually there's something up front that you get hit with that's
Yeah.
really nice and pleasant. And Bernheim here is just missing that for me, and it makes me feel like I'm working real hard for that smell, that just to find something. I'm not getting anything for it. So I'm going to take it down just a peg. It's not a bad smell, but
Well, that's all right. I mean, are you going to compact it with the flavor? Because I think for flavor, for me, I like them wheated, I like them sweet, and I think that it's a real good and easy sipper to start the evening off with, but I don't think that it's anything too complex to challenge your palate.
I can agree with that. I mean, flavor-wise, honestly, I think I'd take it up a notch. I think I'd take it to 6.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the flavor out of it.
Yeah.
He was a straight sipper for me, but just a little bit above average on flavor. How much was he again?
$20.
$20. $7.50, right?
$7.50, $20.
$20
That's
for
right.
a $7.50. That typically sits around
Yeah,
that 8.
That
mark
8, 9.
for me. Yeah,
You can't really beat it.
that's a really good one. At least to just try if you see it.
So it's going to price weight it for me for sure, but it's going to probably be a price weighted overall 7 with a 6 on flavor, a 9 on cost, and a price weighted 7
I can
for
agree.
my overall score. Bernheim wheated, if you disagree with this, maybe it's just a bad bottle we got, maybe it's not fresh enough, send us something out. Let us know in the comments if you liked it, if you didn't like it, and if you think we're just bumbling idiots, please feel free to let us know. Our egos can take it. Other than that, drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly.
$9.55.
I didn't like how hard I had to work on the nose.
Yeah.
That was
I agree.
upsetting.
I agree. He's weeded, but he's not a challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, at least Larceny is weeded, and you have some better.
But like
notes.
Larceny, you got hit with, I believe it was like, Larceny was very strong on the vanilla. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like at least you had that vanilla that you got initially hit up front with, and that was a nice pleasant thing. But when you're just getting hit with that ethanol, this is a alcohol liquid, and if you really get down deep in there, you can find a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of allspice, maybe a little bit of caramel, like you were saying. You know what I mean? And like that's. It's not rewarding enough. I don't know.
Burn.
Bernheim.
That's what I'm saying. There's just not enough oomph. I think if you take the wheat up to more than 50%, it's just going to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Although it's funny that we're starting to be able to get such into bourbon that we can go, that's got too high of a percentage of weed. I don't like my bourbon with that level of wheat.
I like my bourbon a little less on the wheat side. I like it wheated, but a little bit less on the wheated than the Bernheim.
I want some more corn in my whiskey. Alright, hey, you want to see our number 199% rating video?
I think we should wait until the stream is over for that.
I mean, we'll sneak peek for stream.
If they're not watching it, does it come as a sneak peek?
Hey, shut the fuck up.
I'm just saying.
Oh, hold on, I want to make.
Alright, I've picked the past two, so I'm gonna let you pick which one we do next.
Let's go to Black Sabbath.
Black Saddle? Happily. Mainly because I don't know shit about the Black Saddle, and I want to know something about it.
Hold on, I'm gonna plug this in for a second. No, it's starting to Russ. I'm gonna go say hi to Russ.
Well, we know at the very least it's a 12-year because it's Black Saddle 12-year. It just kind of makes sense on that one. But I'm trying to find out some more information. Who makes it? Franklin Distillers. Oh, that's pain. Sorry, bud.
Well, he's supposed to be picking on the.
What's CA? Is that California?
Brandy wine. CA is California, yeah.
So this is a California whiskey? Oh, okay, no, hold on. I mean, technically, it was bottled in California.
Oh, bottled in Cali.
But that's all it says. It doesn't say where it was distilled. Bottled in Cali, huh? Where were you distilled? Where were you aged? $12-year-old bourbon. I don't care about any awards.
People are so funny. I put
Bro.
up a picture saying that I was in search of what?
You know what I just fucking learned?
What?
Completely separate of Black Sabbath. You know who makes Kirkland signature bourbon?
Who's that?
Sazerac.
Of course. I tried to look for a bottle when I was at the Costco, but they didn't have the
It's-
signature bourbon. They
dude,
just
it's
had...
Barton.
Is it?
It is. It's Barton 1792 distillery. That's fucking insane,
So I
dude.
guess if you can get it, it's probably pretty good stuff.
That's interesting. Maybe Costco's not such a bad place to stop.
Alright, that's ready. Reach over to Audacity. Get going again. Check use back.
Oh wait.
Back again.
Saddle.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you
No,
ready?
I'm not
Are you
ready. I'm not ready. I hope you didn't get Audacity ready because I'm still trying to find the mash bill of this motherfucker.
No, no, everything's absolutely recording.
Oh, well. We can cut it out then.
Yuppers.
Let me see here. Review. Is this the same guy that always comes up when we find the review?
How old is it?
Well, we know it's 12 years
Oh.
because it's Black Saddle 12 year.
Oh,
Right there.
oh,
Black
okay.
Saddle 12 year. I'm just trying to find a mash bill on them. Even just like an estimate.
Only thing with more advanced palettes, we can laser detect it out.
I feel like that'd be very interesting, but
To start guessing at it.
yeah.
Kind of bullshit, man. Source? I made it up.
It came to me in a dream. Okay, no, that's fine. I can't
need
find a
a-
mash bill on it, at least in a reasonable
I
amount.
needed wipey.
I wiped you,
Oh, ooh.
but you can go for a second wipey.
I got wiped.
I'm good at my job.
Wiping.
Yep. Professional wiper.
I wonder if we should ret and link it and keep our hands like down here the whole time.
I feel like it'd help with my posture, maybe.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Discount Bourbon Review!
All right, guys, we have something interesting this week. We actually have one of the first bottles submitted by a viewer for our review. This Black Saddle 12 year was gifted by an anonymous viewer we're going to call BL.
BL.
gonna call
That's a
BL.
very anonymous name.
We're gonna
for
call BL. BL gave us this Black Saddle 12 year, just telling us, hey, think you'd like it.
I
So-
think he said specifically that he didn't like it.
He
and
didn't.
So he thought we would like it.
So we wanted to see what we think about it for you guys. But we've had a small simple sip.
But I'm not gonna let that change the review in any way. I'm gonna try and get rid of that
No, of course,
preconceived thought here.
we are impartial guides for you in this whiskey world, and we can never be bought, although you can certainly try. Please hit us up at PayPal or Venmo. Yeah, you can smell. It's compared to the Bernheim wheat whiskey that we just did, we are firmly back in bourbon territory.
Oh yeah.
There's some corniness. There's even a little bit of rye to it.
Little spice, a little bit of black pepper
Little
right
bit
there up front.
Spice. Caramel. Yes.
Caramel's a good one, yeah. Caramel is very strong in there.
But like a later caramel, not quite an early caramel. Something that's been developing for a couple minutes. You're ready to pull it out the pan.
Are you saying more of a dark caramel?
More of a dark caramel, yeah.
No,
Although-
that's a very good smell, especially compared to the Bernheim. Again, we do this all live on Twitch, so you can see it back to back
Yeah, you
while
can see
we're
the whole
doing
lineup
it.
if you go check us out on twitch.tv/discount bourbon reviews.
Yep. But there was almost no smell here, and in comparison, it's almost just like a punch in the face of different smells and flavors that you can detect in there.
Man, that flavor is fantastic. I dived in, and it's got that rye. And you can tell how that rye and that corn just creates such a balanced product compared to a straight wheat whiskey. This is up in the 51% wheat. I'm going to have to say that this is probably closer to lower percentages of corn, 50 or 60% corn, a bit of rye, and some barley. I don't think it's very wheated.
Ooh, he bites though.
He's got your sternum on fire?
That a little, yeah.
Really?
Ooh. He's very good. You can taste that rye in there. And typically, I'm not the biggest rye kind of guy. I think we know that by now. But it's not really like it's a little bit of rye. It's not offensively rye. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not like rye up in your face.
Yeah.
But I didn't detect any of that burn down my chest. I didn't
Maybe it's bad.
get lit up. Maybe it was just a
Let's
bad
go,
sip.
let's go for sip number 2 then. Let's see how it
Sometimes
goes.
experts, we can lose our form, we can lose our posture. You know, we are professionals out here taking on this risk so that you don't have to.
And you know, I
Something
can
like that.
I can admit my fault. Second sip is nowhere near as bitey.
I think
So
that
that
comes with that age, though. Because, I mean, we do have an age statement of 12 years.
I mean,
on here,
straight-
by nature of name.
And I could very well be wrong on this. Please let me know if I am, because I would be interested. But this is the only product I saw of theirs.
Yeah.
I was just looking for Black Saddle, and all I could find was this 12-year.
Yeah, this is the Frank-Lynn Distillers products in Fairfield, California. I've
know-
never seen it in a liquor store in Oklahoma. I've never seen a liquor store in Kansas, Missouri, Ohio, Kentucky, any place you've ever been. This was a gifted bottle completely. And I'm almost curious if it came from the distillery itself.
That would be very interesting. And the thing that gets me, of course, it doesn't, not the be-all, end-all, but it does specifically say just bottled by Franklin Distilleries.
Yeah, that always is a little scary just
I
to
don't-
see bottled.
It doesn't even say produced anywhere, distilled by anywhere on the bottle. I didn't see it anywhere online. All I can find is the Franklin Distillery. So hopefully they make it too. That'd be really cool, but I can't see anything confirming or denying that.
Now, 12 years is a while. I mean, I know I've been used and abused in 12 years. Boy, howdy. Leave a comment if you have too. But this whiskey could have traded hands a couple times. It could have gone across the country. It could have been moved from Kentucky to Indiana to Wyoming to California to who knows where.
Yeah.
So that's why we really do prefer that distilled, aged, and produced in one area.
Yeah.
You know there's some accountability behind it.
We can kind of trace it a little bit better.
Yeah, if it's a shit whiskey, you can say, at least we know it's accountable. But now that we have a great whiskey here, it's hard to say who's accountable.
Go ahead and hand me homeboy over there. I'm curious how he is as a mixer. We might need another Sprite. I'm just gonna go with
Get
the
your
one.
ouncey,
Yeah, little ouncy.
and then I'll just, take an ounce.
We always like that distilled and bottled in one place. One building, preferably, but
It kind of opens up some interesting smells. Definitely a lot more of that baking spice, a lot more particularly allspice, but almost getting kind of a soap note to it. And now,
Soap? No.
I know it's interesting because we've done a couple whiskey reviews, and of course we wipe out our Glencairns for you, our Glencairns. But I'm kind of getting a little bit of a soap,
No, I get you on that. When I go in there for it, thinking about
like
that.
grandma's soap.
No, literally, like
Yeah,
grandma's soap is
just
what I
that
had.
little
No,
colored
really.
bar
Like-
of soap that would sit in that fucking seashell container.
Okay, this is very specific. If you're roughly around, let's just say 20 to 30, your great grandmother was born in 1920.
Yeah,
This is what her house smells like.
this one's for Jackie.
And you know, if we're being honest, it kind of tastes like grandma's
Yeah, it
house,
does,
too. It's not
dude.
very good. And mixed, I'm not a very big fan of.
Nostalgia gives it a point, but overall, it's less than pleasurable.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Nostalgia, give it a point.
Nostalgia can give it a point, but it's a little less than pleasurable.
Yeah.
The nose I really liked. Sipping it straight, absolutely fantastic.
I agree with that.
Mixing it up a little less than.
Kind of brings it down a
Yeah.
little bit. The question is, do we bring it down a point because it's not good as a mixer?
I think
Or is the flavor neat so good that we just leave it where we think it should stand?
I think you guys should let us know in the comments, but I think I'm going to go ahead and have to dock it a point for mixer. I don't think that you should be mixing this. Maybe it could be good in a whiskey forward cocktail like an old fashioned or a Manhattan.
That's interesting.
And we've been thinking about integrating that into the lineup. We only do an ounce pour, so we have room to do the extra half ounce before we're at a bar drink. You know, we want to keep pace for you guys in these videos, let you know, but we're also not trying to get sloshed.
Trying to drink
Trying
responsibly.
to drink responsibly, like we advise. So let us know if you guys would like to see us do that little extra half ounce in like a whiskey forward cocktail. But barring all that, I think that he's got an amazing flavor, straight. And I wouldn't mix him back up with Sprite. I wouldn't do him as a classic cocktail.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold my question on it on palate because we're gonna go back to nose.
Yeah, hold all questions till the end.
All right.
This is like school.
So nose, where are we feeling? Because for me, nose, I kept coming back to him. There was something in there that kept me wanting to come back. That X factor, as we like to say here on the channel.
No, I definitely agree. So I think I'm gonna give him above average rating.
I would say maybe an 8 on the nose.
Yeah, an 8 for sure. I think he's solid. Without it right here in front of me, it's hard to give it an immediate designation again. But yeah, I kept wanting to dive back in. I kept wanting to smell it, but not quite 10 out of 10. I like a little bit more red fruits and baking spice at the same time while getting a little bit of that leather tannin that's maybe just a little too far away for me.
Yeah, I can agree with that a lot.
Yeah.
Flavor-wise, bringing up a point for nostalgia, down a point for mixer category. He's going to be at a 7 for me, an 8 even.
I think he's an above average whiskey. I think it's something that you should definitely look out and pick up for at an 8 like that. But nothing that you need to run out and scoop something right now. Yeah.
What about price, though? What did we learn about price on this guy?
Well, if it's going to be given to you for free, that's great.
Okay.
That's obviously a 10.
We got it for free. That's wonderful.
But
how much are we
I think
spending
it
on
retails-
this MSRP?
I think MSRP, it was $60
$60 MSRP.
$60. So definitely fancy pants territory.
Fancy pants bottle. I'm not going out on a week. I mean, I am going out on a week-to-week basis trying to find a new bottle to try. Maybe for the channel, maybe just for myself at home. This is a bottle that kind of stretches out of that budget a little bit for me. And
It's not
so,
something that's attainable. We can get 3 Bernaheims to review for you guys, 3 different things. A $60 bottle becomes a little less attainable.
yeah. At $60, we all know that I've spent more than $60 on a bottle. So, I mean, he doesn't bring him down too terribly low, but if our base level's at 5, as we've agreed on, right?
Yeah.
Then I think he goes down a point in price for...
I agree, and I think it's probably one of the first whiskeys that we've reviewed that's going to dip below just a 5 on that. I gotta agree. I think at a $60 price point, he is overpriced for his flavor and for his abilities.
I think at even just 50, maybe 45 would be
I think at
stretching it a
50,
little bit.
I'm starting to pick back up into 5 and 6 territory. At 40, I'm starting to push to 7 or 8. If I could pick this up as a $30 bottle, that would be a snatch.
He would sit
almost
on my
every
bar
single day.
all the time.
It'd be a great one to mix up.
Yeah.
But the matter of fact
Well,
is
not
it's
mix
twice
up.
that price.
We don't like him as mixers. We did establish that.
That's right.
But he'd be a great one to have on the bar. I would absolutely love to have him on the bar for $30. For 60, if I see him out and about, if I'm feeling good that week, he might be my bottle. But
Yeah.
it's hard
I
to
don't
do
know.
that when I could get a bottle of Bernheim Or one bottle that I've been seeing that I've been really thinking about grabbing is a bottle of that Fighting Cock.
Fighting Cock.
I see it everywhere out
If you've
here.
had it, let us know.
Please
But
let
yeah,
me
no,
know
we've
if
been
it's a
seeing it
bottle
for
I
a
need to
while.
grab.
Almost everywhere has it.
It's $15 a bottle.
Well, we still got to work through all the boys. We got to work through Jack, Jane, Jim, Mark.
I mean,
You know,
they're there.
all the boys are always going to be there.
They're
We're going to be here for you guys.
Jack's bottle and bottle around here is like $30. Too.
I do. I've seen that bottled and bond for $29 today. We were out hunting at B&B.
I wasn't there, but
No.
I've seen it for $30.
Me and BL were out hunting when he gave me these bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you guys want to hunt with us, let us know in the chat.
I would
Let us
love
know
to
in
go
the
with
comments.
anyone. I love hunting.
Yeah, we love hunting bourbon.
But Black Saddle overall price included in the thought process, it goes down to a 6.5 for me, maybe a 7. That price really sours it for me, especially on the Discount Bourbon Reviews channel. The discount part's pretty important. So
I agree.
I think it goes down a little bit.
Staying under $50 is a primary goal of this channel, so it's definitely in that 4 there. The tastes are pretty good. I think I'm going to have to give them a 6 overall.
Yeah, I think I can agree with it.
Yeah.
But it's still very good. If you have the chance to try it, please pick up a bottle and let us know what you think of it. But
Frank, Lynn, whichever one is in charge of marketing and PR, if you see this video and you disagree, you think we just got a bad bottle, you don't think it was as fresh as it should have been,
send me another bottle.
send us another bottle. Let
I'll
us
try
know.
any bottle you send.
We'd love to try it again for you guys and give a good and honest review of your product.
Yep.
But other than that,
Drink responsibly. No, he is good, very straight. I like him.
13 old, 13 10. All right, we got it. Chat is
A little bit of banter.
a little bit of is back again.
Well, I guess for today that leaves Wild Turkey for 5. And if you really want to, we can do the special reserve. And then that's 6 for the day. And I feel like
We should be good for burger night.
yeah.
What's this one we just did? We did
That was the Black Saddle 12 year. You're driving me to Burger Night.
Okay. Big Black Saddle bourbon.
Whoa, BBS.
Now that it's just us in chat, I'm gonna leave that LGBT joke in. I think it's funny.
I think it's funny.
We all know I'm well enough and supportive.
We do. But it's important to acknowledge when it isn't offensive.
See, I find part of the LGTB, not the LGBTQ plus community. Part of the Let's Get Friend community, not the lesbian, bi, gay, trans, and other.
We're still live, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frame up. Oh shoot.
I think there's your clap right there. I think I got it with the bottle pop.
You think we can sync? You think it can sync to just that?
I think maybe. I think we should still maybe clap just to be safe, but say that the bottle pop went ahead and did it.
There you go, chat. Is that better for you?
I could go for a pre-pour to be safe.
Oh, you can import it?
Yes.
Just
to get a little bit less.
But you need the whole ounce, so you can sip an ounce. We don't need Sprite, do we?
No, we don't. At least not here. I mean, if you want to go get another Sprite. To keep it consistent. We are bad about spilling over here at the Discount Bourbon Reviews, but I don't remember who said it, but someone said if you didn't spill it, did you enjoy it? I heard that Sprite crack from in there. I hope you did too. The little trash can is gone. Oh. Hello, Sprite.
Sprite is back.
Back again. That's good. Ooh, I could have been looking up what we can know about the wild turkey. one is definitely far within our category.
Yeah, it's like $20.
Yep. For 101 proof? That's
6 years in a virgin white oak barrel.
virgin.
Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
3,
Nope. Nope. Not
2,
ready.
1.
Discount Bourbon Reviews! Alright, today we're here with the Wild Turkey 101, one that I'm personally very excited to get my hands on. Of course, Wild Turkey's seen just about anywhere. You can find Wild Turkey very, very easily. Even the 101. I just haven't tried it yet, personally.
Yeah, I mean, going into the channel's background, this is definitely one of the first kind of national brand bottles that we're trying out. You know, you think about it, you think about Jack, you think about Jane, you think about Jim, you think about Mark, think about Tom? Turkey Tom?
Turkey Tom.
Turkey Tom.
Haven't had my chance to get my hands on him. Today's the chance, and I'm very excited because, of course, he's a nationwide brand. Everyone's got his hands on
National
him.
brand. He's a 101, so of course 101 proof. Master distiller Jimmy Russell.
We know it's about a 75% corn mash bill, and so that kind of gets me excited. We had one earlier. I believe it was the Bartons, or was it the...
Bernheim was the 7-year-old that we tried earlier on this week's stream. If you guys check us out on twitch.tv/discount bourbon reviews, all these videos are available a week ahead of time on the live stream. But as for this week,
I think it was the Bartons that we tried as well, though. That one had like a 71% corn.
yes,
A very high
yes,
corn. And so I've got some high hopes of it. I really like the Bartons.
yes. So we got some good age statements, 6 to 8 years,
Yep.
high corn, something that we're starting to turn our noses to.
Ooh.
And he's got quite a bit of spice there.
He does. He's got a lot of bit of spice up front. You
Quite a
can
bit
get a
more rye.
little bit of butter. I think rye is a good word as well. Just a little tiny bit up in there. He's very good.
He's not quite got that ethanol, but there's certain astringent quality that's burning my nose a little bit. Especially when you really get your nose in there.
I think I can agree with that. Like, there is a little bit of like that nose hair burn, but I don't want to say it's that ethanol burn.
It's not quite just strong oak. You
It's
know
a
what
little
I
bit
mean?
of cinnamon too. You can really find some cinnamon in there. At least I can. Of course, if you can't, please let me know.
So
Let me
it's
know
starting to
what
be
you
a little bit more complex of a nose, but maybe not quite that X factor that's really got me like, what is that? Who is she? Who is she? It's got Dylan coughing.
Yeah, that one was a fail on
No, that's what I'm saying.
Ooh.
We put ourselves in the line of fire for
Who-
you guys.
who is
okay? Who is she?
She's spicy.
She's spicy.
She's very spicy.
like a Latin lover you met at a club. She's spicy.
Ooh. Brings tears to my eyes almost.
Yeah, she did too, huh?
It does treat you that way. Ooh.
Smooth
He's-
enough.
He's very smooth once you get him right. And he's very strong on that corn and kind of buttery
Yeah.
notes on the palate.
I gotta share that with you. I agree. You can really detect a lot of grain notes.
Yeah.
There's not too much subterfuge. There's nothing really deeper level right now.
And for 7 years, was it? 6 to 8?
6 to 8.
Somewhere in there?
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised by that.
Doing our pre-research, we saw a 6-year age statement. Just reading the back here, I see a 6 to 8 year age statement. So that's maybe something that's changed recently. That means it's going to be a marrying of internal casks with the 6, 7, and 8 year age statements.
Yep.
As opposed to like if you find a blend out there, you can assume a blend is going to be different companies. A marrying is within its own. And even then, most people won't disclose a marrying.
I think if you're doing 6 to 8 years, a marrying's not a big deal.
It's
I wouldn't
implied. It's
disclose it
generally
anyway.
implied more
Yeah.
than a blend is.
Though we do know that there are some blends out there that are very good.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed the Pinhook up here. That's a blend, and it was a very, very good blend.
I saw their 2022 release at a place that I went to. Their 2022 high proof. We may have to go back and track down. Let us know if you want to see that hunt video.
I would be kind of interested in that one.
Yeah, Rye Money. Rye Money was the name. All right, I'm gonna go for sip up. I'm gonna go for a mixer.
It's a lot of butter up front, and just a little bit on the back end. You get that allspice, black pepper, almost. A little bit of rye, I think, is a really good one to throw in there as well. Boom. Man, your money with that.
Oh!
I was saying that when he was walked away.
He
Plus, you see it
jinxed
in the
me.
pink. If you didn't spill it, Did you really enjoy it?
If you didn't spill it, did you really kill it? There you go.
That's a good one too. I'm gonna wait for you. I want to know how you feel about it. I'm gonna also wipe up the table a little bit.
We got a comment from someone the other day saying that I sniffed my whiskey a little too close, and you're absolutely right. I will snort this thing given the chance on accident. Licorice.
I think
Black
licorice
licorice.
is a really good word to use, actually.
It's bordering on that soap characteristic that we pulled from Black Saddle, but I think it stays a little bit more in that anise and black licorice territory.
Yeah, a lot of licorice. Anise is a good word to use.
Better than a nephew.
A little. The word, the word
Dad
perfume.
jokes.
The word perfume comes to mind really hard.
Doesn't translate to the flavor though.
No, it doesn't.
Actually, you get a lot of oak.
I do get a lot of oak off that. That's actually a very good one to use on that one.
Yeah. Less the caramels. Like if I mix up Weller in a Sipper Weller Special Reserve, I get a lot more of those honey and caramel notes.
Yep.
But when I mix up this Wild Turkey 101,
A lot of
it's a
oak.
lot of oak.
A little bit of leather tannins.
Yeah. Some of
You
those more
kinda-
leather tannins and anise, some of that really dark characteristics are expressed.
That's kind of disappointing for a 6 to 8 year. I was expecting a little oomph from it, but as a mixer, that's a little.
Would you say you like them brighter? Citrus, caramel,
I would.
wheat, sunshine?
Yeah, I
Not
would say that.
dark, anise, licorice.
Spice,
Yeah.
rye,
Black peppercorn.
black peppercorn. Yeah, no, those are typically not on my list for palate wise in my whiskeys. That's just a me thing, though. Maybe I need to expand a little more.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all we've got is right here. You know
I
what
mean,
I
of
mean?
course, we're the bourbon boys, but I mean, we'll try Irish whiskeys. We'll try some scotches for you guys. We'd be willing to try some Japanese whiskeys.
I would be very upset about trying some scotches, but I would try it.
No, the peatier, the smokier, the better. You're gonna absolutely love those videos.
I will hate it. I will absolutely hate it. I will be just as uninterested for those as I was for the. Where is he?
we
Where's
got
he
some
hiding?
Ardbeg down here.
No, but the Ancient Age Preferred, he is hiding down there behind the Ardbird. I was very unexcited about him. I was a little caught off guard, but that is just about as unexcited for the Scotch as we know me.
So you're telling me if we had someone send us a good bottle,
I'd try it.
you try it,
I'd try it regrettingly, but I'd
box
try
it
it.
right back up and send it to
Yeah,
him. Though.
that's yours, bud.
All right, appreciate it. We
I'll
did
tell
our
you
1
what,
ounce.
I've never had a brandy, and I do want to try a good brandy.
We have
So if you've
considered
got
some
your hands on a
brandies.
good brandy, let me know.
Yeah.
I want to go find a good
If
brandy.
you guys got a good brandy, let us know.
That's a good way to put it. I like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. But, so, what would you put on the nose for Wild Turkey?
A little better than average, probably 6.
Okay. I mean, I can agree.
It's
with that.
fine.
Especially not having them right here. I can
Yeah,
agree
it
with
was
that.
fine.
But nothing offensive. Nothing crazy.
No.
Would you say he was a little above average?
No.
So for that, I'm going to leave him at a 5. Just right there, even.
There you go. Taste, pretty good.
Neat? I thought he was very
I thought he
good.
was pretty good neat.
I thought he was.
I could
thought
see
he was
him
good.
not being the first thing that I warm up with. You know, I want to warm up with something sweet, easy to go down,
Oh, yeah.
and then move into a rye with a little bit of challenge.
That Special Reserve, that strain of hands over there.
Yeah.
Very sweet, very easy to go down. Those are absolutely starters for me.
We still got to do that Stranahan's Blue video.
Oh, we got to do
We got a whole Stranahan's love.
We
that
got a
we got to send
whole
out to.
thing to do. But nose for me, he's going to stick at that 5. Palate, I think we agreed with the Bernheim, or was it the Black Saddle over here? We agreed that if we don't like a mix, we're going to take him down a point.
Yeah.
I'm going to take him down a point. I didn't like a mix very well. It wasn't anything bad, but it was a lot of black licorice on our Sprite. And of course, we
Yeah.
know if it's good enough for Elmer T. Lee, it's good enough for me.
That's why we mix up a Sprite.
Yep, and we keep that consistent. That way we can just tell the difference. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I wasn't
Exactly
like
the same
a lot
way.
of licorice.
Yeah.
It was up front with the licorice. And I wasn't about it. So I'm going to take it down a point, but I did like him neat. So I think I'm going to leave him at that 6. Is that neat? I would leave him at 7.
No, I think that's all fair. I think I'm right there with you. I think that he's pretty good neat. I think it's something I could see me reaching towards second drink or third drink of the night. Probably in that 6 territory.
I think
I hate going with you. I hate matching pace on you.
But I think
wanna-
it's
wanna
fair.
give
I
people
think it
something
makes
challenging.
sense.
But yeah, I think I'm at 6s for both. Price being $20 though is going to push me up into the 8 or 9 territory. That's a firmly solid
That's
price to pay.
easy 8. For
Yeah,
me.
I mean, if you're making $15-20 an hour, you're going to be able to buy a bottle off this, off an hour or two's work, and it's going to take you more than an hour or two work to get through it.
Oh yeah, easy. It's
That's
gonna
what I'm
take you a
saying.
little bit more than an hour or two to get through
So
it.
for that's why we say those are 8 or 9s right off the bat. So
Oh, yeah.
with a price weighted 8 and 6s, I think he can sneak his way into 7 territory. Slightly above average, but
Just to disagree a little bit, I'm gonna say 6-5 because it was 2 6s and then an 8. So I'm just gonna say an odd 6-5.
I just can't help but felt undercut.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Drink responsibly.
Please drink responsibly.
Well,
Not bad.
but we spent a couple minutes lollygagging. It's probably 10 minutes. Yeah.
That's fair.
Woo.
Well, I think that really just leaves one thing for us for the day, bud.
So, did you start?
Huh?
Did you start?
The king, as we call
Gee, thanks, the king.
him. Thanks, king.
Gee, thanks, the king. I always wanted a cyber robot dog.
good.
Thanks for saving my dog. Here, you can keep him.
You can keep him.
I
I saw someone, I don't remember who, last night on Twitch playing Fallout New Vegas, and I just got fucking trapped in it, dude. I was watching them play for a while.
I feel like I gotta do my fancy pants well this one.
Well, I mean, we're doing the Weller Special Reserve.
It's a special reserve.
It would be wrong to do it in the Stranahan's class.
I agree with that. I think that we can wax and wane a little bit about the actual selection process of getting allocated stuff at Buffalo Trace. Because for some people, that's really honestly the first chance that they'll get in a special reserve.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
No.
Okay, well then I'll just touch my screen so that it does not die.
Okay. Alright, I'm as ready as I'll ever be. What was wrong with this again?
The audio.
The audio is messed up?
Yeah, we didn't have it.
No. That's sad.
Yeah.
Well.
So now we're definitely recording.
Recording! Let's go. Are we going to be recording again?
Boom.
Boom.
No, we're just gonna make a completely different audio and just try to overlay it with that first.
I think that'd be really funny.
Yeah, this is the second take of the Sweller Special Reserve. I like to put these little clips back at the end sometimes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
I mean, it happens.
But either way.
But either way, it is our second take on them just because we're
We
figuring it out.
If
Lost the audio. So.
you know anything, let us improve it. Obviously,
Oh yeah.
we love drinking
I
bourbon,
would
sharing with you
love
guys,
to improve the quality and to just share bourbon with my friends. You're my friends.
my loved ones.
I'm not going that far.
Okay, yeah, let's
That's
back
a
it
little
up.
far.
Sorry, that was aggressive.
Friends,
On my end.
acquaintances,
Friends. No,
loved ones.
What's that meme with that kid? You know, special friends. Special friends.
Lost me.
We're
Almost.
special friends.
We are special friends. You and I. Discount Bourbon Review.
All right, guys, we're back this week with the King.
Thanks,
Weller
the King.
Special Reserve. Not to spoil our reviews of it, but it is an absolute favorite of mine. Something I've had on the bar consistently since really I've been able to drink. I found it early on into my bourbon hunting career, and it's something that I've just genuinely loved.
You know I'm gonna ask. You know I'm gonna ask. How many bottles you got in the house, Josh?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Probably enough stock at liquor store.
Probably,
That's not really the point.
I've seen liquor stores with less.
I've
that's
seen
for
liquor
sure.
stores with less special reserve than they hang out in this house. You can see behind me, there is the big boy. My
That's the
treasured big boy.
1.75
My
liter
1.75.
regular liter.
We got a liter here, and then I have we have some alternative bottles. We have some antique 107. I do have a full proof as well. They're off in a separate room.
Hiding.
But it should show without a doubt. Weller is one of my favorite whiskeys. Just separate of being a tater, separate of being just a whiskey collector. We hope this bubble kind of bursts, but
He's up there. He's a very good one for me. I mean,
he's a really good one.
I like to try and have a little bit of different stuff than what Josh keeps around, just because it kind of makes things a little bit more interesting for me. But the Weller Special Reserve still stays on my bar.
Mm-hmm.
He's very good. I know very high things about him. He went for the 4.5. I'm going to stick with the regular ounce.
He's just going to stick with an ounce this time, but I am also pouring it into my Weller Glencairn.
He does have the special Weller Glencairn purchased at the Buffalo Trace Distillery.
If you guys watch the Ohio trip, you'll know all about us pulling up there. But
absolutely.
I mean, honestly, just to kind of start there, because we obviously have a developed palate about this. To start there, Buffalo Trace, they always let you pick up a bottle of their signature, their Buffalo Trace. They got the bourbon cream, they got the Wheatley vodka, and then they'll put out an alternative bottle. It could be Blanton's, it could be Eagle Rare, or it could be Weller Special Reserve. And I've giggled with some other bourbon influencers that if you whip up to Buffalo Trace on a Special Reserve day, it's what the point. But I know that for a lot of people watching this, it may not even be available to you in the first place.
That's an us thing. Here in Oklahoma, we have Special Reserve out the wazoo.
We have it.
I mean,
we joke at just the name Special Reserve because we got such access to it.
Yeah.
And now don't come flooding down here. Do not change that. Or we'll personally have
my Special Reserve supply
Look
line.
at me.
We
We will have problems. Comment and but this is the land of Weller Green. You need Weller Red, you need Weller Blue, go to Ohio. Get out of my face. We got some greens here.
We got greens. We got
some
greens. And apparently that one place up in Old Mulgee had a full proof.
Yeah. Let us know if you want to see the real hunts.
Oh, but he's rich in the honey and the vanilla.
But exactly that. It's hard for me because all of the alternative products are so well hunted in the Buffalo Trace communities.
Yep.
But Weller Special Reserve kind of seems to be the odd child out, almost cast down with Ancient Age, Wheatley.
I think it's just because how available it is in some areas. Of course, in some other areas, it's a little harder to get your hands on. But in places as big as where we are, we get tons of Special Reserve, and that can't just be the oddity. You know what I mean? There's got to be some places where the Special Reserve is very widely available. And so some people are like, well, why would I want to go for the Weller Reserve when I could go for the 107? And I've even heard people from Ohio saying, I was having a conversation with one of our commenters about him being in Ohio and people in Ohio just passing up on the 107 all the time because it's just that available for them. And that's insane to me. But so that's the difference for us. You know what I mean? So if Special Reserve's a hard thing for you to come by, let us know. I would love to be interested in where that is, so I know to stay away from there because I want to be where the Special Reserve is.
That's a good place for me to be too.
Yeah.
As far as the nose, he's got a lot of honey.
He does
on the nose. He's
a
got a lot of
honey.
caramel.
You can find
He's
that
a very
vanilla.
sweet, almost yellow cakey type nose. He's not offensive. If you're used to bourbons, you're used to whiskeys, you can get your nose almost touching the thing. I mean, there are times I've really been sniffing my Weller Special Reserve, and I've almost snorted it up my nose, like aspirated it.
He's so light on the palate. I'm a big fan of the Weller Special Reserve on the palate. It's not very often for me that palate beats out the nose for me, especially in my bourbons and whiskeys. But the Special Reserve is a case where it does for me. The palate, he's sweet, but he's not crazy sweet. Like if you watch our live streams where we've been trying all that we've got here on the table so far, when we tried the Barton's, the very old Barton's 100 proof here, I made a comment that he was very, very sweet, like almost upfront, a little offensively sweet. He's the Weller Special Reserve. He's sweet, but he's just a little sweet, just a little taste.
No, I think it is too, and I agree that it's just a quick little bite, and there's not too many whiskeys where the taste is superior to the nose. I agree with that. Usually those alcohol vapors really allow you to extract a lot of smells, a lot of volatile stuff that really season the overall flavor of a whiskey. but I think that the flavor is secondary to, or the smell is secondary to the flavor when it comes to Weller.
And you know, when I come back to the nose, I've let them open up a little bit. I do get a lot more of those caramel notes that you were mentioning earlier. They really open up in the later part of it.
But I always say it's a young caramel. I think that it's something like
it is a very bright caramel.
you
I
let
would
the
say.
sugar just kind of melt in the pan, and it's just starting to change color a little bit.
Just
It's like
right
very young caramel, and that smell that would accentuate your house with.
You know what part I'm almost the most excited for the Weller Special Reserve. And that's the mixer, my man. Go ahead. Well, don't mix it. I want to know how she stacks up straight versus the mixer. Of course, I do know, but I want to share with you guys live how it goes and how I feel about it.
I need to be ambidextrous, but I'm not even dexterous, dude.
Oh, he's sweet. He really helps those citrus notes of the Sprite come off while still giving you a lot of that honey.
Yeah. I mean, we've gone through and we've mixed all of these guys with Sprite. We always mixed against Sprite because if it's good enough for Elmer T. Lee,
it's good enough for me.
That's exactly it. And it's control in scientific terms.
We are trying to do this scientifically. I want to know what some of the best discounted bourbons can be. And I'll tell you what, the Special Reserve especially mix, he just sits up there.
Oh.
He is amazing.
It's hard for me sometimes because he's almost better mixed sometimes than he is straight. But every time I take him straight, I'm pleased. Every time I mix him up, I'm pleased.
He's very, very good.
And I
cannot
know
complain about him.
Buffalo Trace has been doing a lot of work to increase their overall production in accordance with the demand issues surrounding Eagle Rare, surrounding Blanton, surrounding Weller, let alone the B-Tac. Did you hear about this new B-Hab? Did you hear about this?
I haven't heard
Buffalo
about B-Hab.
Trace Prohibition era whiskeys. They're bringing back 5 Prohibition era style whiskeys.
I haven't heard that.
MSRP is in the thousands. So we'll never touch it here at Discount Bourbon Review. But
well, we'll touch it, just not here.
It's that
at the table.
The Walnut Hill one specifically has caught my interest because it looks to me to be a lot kind of like a predecessor to Ancient Age. You know what I mean?
That's
I feel like in branding and style. But
okay.
That's all just my perceptions. Check out that Buffalo Trace Prohibition stuff. They just announced that in the last day or two. Maybe that helps you date the video.
That's interesting. I hadn't heard that yet, so that's interesting, and I'm very excited to go look into that. I slammed my mixer.
You slammed your mixer right now.
Weller Special Reserve is very solidly in mixer and sipper category.
I mean, we joked about
love him over ice. I love him mixed. In my sweet tea,
we call him the king. We call him the king.
We do.
We joke about
he
it.
He is
reason,
the king in this household. He sits on top. He is.
This liter I got for $30. Now I know people that'll pay $80 for a 750 ml, and that just blows my mind.
Now, are we saying that the Weller Antique 107 is worse than the Special Reserve? No, I don't think we are. I really, really love the Antique 107.
100% an availability thing. It's 100% an availability thing.
I agree with that. We have him so available to us, and he's just so damn good that he just sits up there. He is our king. Don't do it. Don't do it to me, King. He's gonna do it to me. In a moment. Oh, he's just so
That
good.
red fruit and apricot is just so much stronger.
He's
You can
just
tell
so
that
good.
it's a further developed version of
It
it.
is.
But it's like the king, and then it's like the god.
The God. There's still a couple of Wellers we haven't been able to get our hands on and try at all, so there still could be a better one out there. We don't know.
Yeah.
If you think so, please let me know. I heard someone talking about, and I'm interested if you guys, if this is fake news, you please let me know. He was talking about an old Weller Antique 107 Special Reserve. He was talking about them both in one bottle.
Like
That was the full name of the bottle. Weller Antique 107. Or Old Weller Antique.
now I know there's some stuff older than these new labels. Of course, they've been making Weller for a while. Buffalo Trace been doing it for a long time. That's just a little crazy to me.
That's insane to me. He said he had a bottle of it, and he said he absolutely loved it.
I
And
do
so
know.
I'm very interested. There's tons of stuff for us to try, but at least for what we have in front of us, I freaking love him.
I do know that Weller Special Reserve actually used to carry an age statement. I believe it was 7 years. Don't quote me on the exact years, but it did carry an age statement. They have since dropped it with some product availability issues and started marrying the product. So it can no longer be a strict aged product. It's kind of just ready when it's ready, I'd have to assume. But I would be excited to see a return to form on that stuff.
I hope it's not a seasonal thing.
I would be excited to go back and see some of those older bottles from before rebranding, what they might taste like. But of course, those have become unicorns. They're on deep auctions. They're thousands of dollars at this point.
Thousands of dollars. And we're trying to spend $50. How much did we spend, at least in our area, on a bottle?
30 for a liter.
A liter.
30 for a liter. I paid less than 40 for my
regularly
1.75.
for a 750 milliliter, which is of course the rest of our bottles, not counting the very old Bartons over here. But that's typically the constant that we try to keep around here is the 750 milliliter. I've seen them as low as $22.
Exactly.
And that's absolutely fantastic.
So 20, 30, 40. All of these three giants fit within this family.
Yep.
So it's firmly a 10 on the price for me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, overall, I'm probably going to give it a 10. Yeah, it's my favorite whiskey at the moment. It's something I started with.
We all know I'm not going to give it a solid 10. Nose, he is a 9. I love that nose. He hides things from you, but that honey, that vanilla, he's there. He's available for you. You know what I mean? And he kind of has, again, we use it a lot, that X factor. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's there in the Weller Special Reserve. And he has me curious.
And
what is it?
It's that same X factor that shared in Blanton's. And it's that same X factor that shared in, I must assume it's Eagle Rare.
What are they doing? There's
something beyond.
It absolutely is. But so that smell, he's a 9. Flavor, we all know I'm not willing to give a full out 10 right now. I believe I gave the Antique 107
You gave it a 9.5.
So we're going to give him a 9.
That upset BL. If you remember back from earlier in the stream, BL donated a couple of these bottles to the channel.
He was
if you'd like to donate some bottles,
by
let us
my
know.
9.5?
He was intrigued by your 9.5.
Because I have a curiosity that there might be something.
Well,
better.
BL knows that your palate does not necessarily line up with his.
Well,
But BL is also very excited about coming and trying this Antique 107.
BL has a lot of spicy. So he can keep that to himself. I love you, BL. I appreciate the bottles that you provided for us.
I do appreciate that as well.
But in line, because I do believe that the 107 is better than the Special Reserve flavor-wise.
Truth.
He's going to go down a step. So I'm just going to give him a solid 9 because he is fantastic.
Knowing what I know about, I've had Full Proof, I've had 12 year, I've had the Antique 107.
I haven't had the Full Proof.
Unfortunately, the place where I was able to try the Full Proof and the 12 year had a fire incident. If you would like to donate to the people over at Hodges Bend, people over at Lowwood, and the apartments over there in Tulsa, feel free, please. We give our love to them. I have considered trying to buy the smoke damage bottles from them, but that's a secondary point.
Neither here nor there.
Neither here nor there. But yes, I've been able to try a couple down the lineup, and of course, Weller Special Reserve is the watered down offering. It's 90 proof. That's definitely not cask strength. Even the Full Proof at 114 is just starting to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where you start getting a lot of those deeper, richer notes.
Oh, yeah.
Just as we sniffed the cork and we were able to immediately ascertain that red fruit and knowing that apricot taste from the video we did. Weller here, he's got a long ways to go, but by no means is he a little brother that you should count out.
I 100% agree. I've seen a lot of people count out the Special Reserve for something more like Antique 107 or 12 year that's a little bit more easy to get their hands on where they are. And if it's easier to get your hands on, go for it. I know that Antique 107 is a $50 bottle. That's still within the discount bourbon reviews category. But if you see the Special Reserve out and about, you've never tried it, he's $25 MSRP. That's a 9. That's a 10 for me. Maybe I'm giving him a couple of extra points because I really like him.
I'll say this. Personal 10. With taking away all objectivities in the entire overall world of bourbons, taking people like BL into account and their taste and their preferences, I think most people would find this at a 7. It's going to be good. It's not going to challenge you in any ways, but you would definitely want to stock it. You definitely want to hold it. And it's something that you'd consider sipping with no question, either mixed or straight. I think you should firmly hold it on your bar. So I think I'm going to give it a Joshy 10, but I think I'm going to give it a Channel 8.
I'm going to give it a 9 all over. Price, smell, flavor, 9. He's fantastic. Have him on your bar.
8, 9, 10. We're settling right there in some pretty high points. It doesn't
yeah.
really matter what exact scores are. We're trying to tell you this is a good whiskey and it's something that you should pick up.
If you think we're just being taters, let me know.
If you
I'm
think
curious.
that we're just riding coattails, let us know.
I would love to know if there's a different weeded bourbon out there that's better than this Weller Special Reserve that I should get my hands on, especially for this price.
No, we
range.
got Larceny Barrel Proof. We got some other stuff. We got the Bernheim Wheat. We certainly are trying some other products.
He's
but
not a bourbon. We can't call him a
he's
bourbon.
not a bourbon.
He is a
wheat whiskey, but
Yeah.
we've got some certainly weeded products.
Yeah.
And
I'm curious
he's
to
just
try.
a king. He remains a king.
Weller is the king. But, of course, at the end of the day,
Most important thing.
drink responsibly. That was good. There was a lot of banter on that one.
17 minutes and my phone's on 5%. So we did a good job.
Yeah. And we're
Oh.
at an hour and a half on the stream.
An hour and a half on the stream. So I certainly think with some other people, a little bit of prep, some interchange in between, cool off, smokes, and whatnot, we can start hitting that 2-hour goal that we're looking for with these streams.
Oh, easy. But I don't feel like that was bad today at all.
Good
And
going
especially XX Corrupt. I appreciate you coming on by and letting us know that the volume was a little low. We turned it up a little bit. I hope it worked out.
Thanks for coming by and hanging out for just a little bit.
I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Bye.